The Walking Dead, as you know, the Walking Dead franchise has been going for a long time now, and it's had
A
various different
very long time.
incarnations. Yes, you've had the original Walking Dead season, and then you've had some spin-off seasons. You've had Fear the Walking Dead, you've had Walking Dead: The World Beyond, The Walking Dead: Dead City, Tales of Daryl Dixon, and The Ones That Live. And for viewers in the US, these have all been coming out regularly over the last few years. In the UK, after the last season of The Walking Dead, there's been nothing. All the new spin-off seasons, the Dead City, Dal Jones, Dal Dixon, and the ones that live, have just been in like a sort of a limbo state because no one has quite owned where they're going to be. Originally, the home of The Walking Dead was called Sky in the UK, and
Yep.
then Disney took it, and became a Disney Plus thing, and then sort of nothing. And now Sky have got the rights again to watch the Walking Dead, and so some of these things are starting to appear on Sky, which is
Yep.
why, um, even though this is like the fourth season of the new spin-offs, this is the first one that's actually appeared in the UK that most people can see. So basically, this carries on the story of Rick and Michonne, who were mainstays of the main Walking Dead season. In the season, Rick mysteriously went missing after a bridge exploded. I think it was in like season 7 or something of The Walking Dead. So the last few years, there's been no Rick, and Michonne has sort of been on her own with their children. And then she found a few clues that would suggest he was still alive. And then in The Walking Dead, Michonne left to go and find Rick because she was convinced that he was alive. And this season is basically the story of how Rick and Michonne find each other
Mm.
and their story from there on. So there's nothing, I don't need to say anymore about the plot. But it does basically tie in The Walking Dead with The World Beyond, which is one of those, a two-season one about, and originally it was like teens in the apocalypse, and it was a bit like, really? But it did actually tie into the wider story, the wider world building,
Yes.
about this group of sort of city states that are sort of like a military state who are looking at sort of retaking sort of the North American continent. And so this season with Rick and Michonne does tie in with the world beyond. So it is another one of those sort of links.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, you know what to expect. The chemistry between Rick and Michonne is still there. If you're not a fan of The Walking Dead, this probably won't win you to it. You're not going to come in at this level. So if you're still with the franchise by this point, it's got you. And if you've been left behind, you're past it.
Yeah.
So I think it is for the fans. But people like me who have been a fan from the beginning, I liked it. I thought it was the story that we wanted. You know, we wanted to see this story of Rick and Michonne um, come to a conclusion, a
Yeah.
sort of satisfying conclusion, and that's what I felt. What it was, I felt for the fans out there, it was what we wanted, and
Yeah.
I was happy with it. So I would basically leave it there and give it. For me, it was a 4 star. It was a fitting conclusion to their story, and I think it's a good nod towards the end of that main sort of character line. Started off in The Walking Dead, and for me, it was, yeah, it hit the right note, hit the right tone, the right amount of action. Their chemistry was still alive and sort of driving the
Yeah.
story along. So I liked it, and for me, yeah, it was a 4 star. Four.
Oh,
But if you weren't a fan, I don't think it would be anything more than a 3. But for me, yeah, it did what I wanted it to do. So I'm
well,
happy with it as a 4.
well, Sharon, you said a word there that made my ears prick up and maybe got me interested, and that word you used was conclusion.
Yeah.
And because as I was saying beforehand, I feel like I don't think any show has ever been more aptly named than The Walking Dead because this thing just keeps going and refuses to die, refuses to go away. And yeah, and you said the word conclusion, which makes you go, really? But I kind of doubt that they're gonna find a way of carrying this state on.
Probably.
Sharon, what I was going to say
I'll still be
is,
complaining about this when I'm 60.
can you get the whole lot on Sky now then,
You can
or
get this
was it
season.
every day? Pardon?
You can get all of. There are only 6 parts, 6 episodes to this mini season,
Right.
and the ones that live. And so yeah, all of those are available to watch as a
All right.
as a
Cool.
as a mini season. So yeah,
Right.
and to me it did feel like a conclusion. There was an ending to this storyline that's been running for sort of a few years. So I
Yeah,
felt it did. But I can imagine if they suddenly said, we're going to do another one. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
I should
But
watch
for me,
that one
I would
because
be
I'm quite
happy for it to
invested.
go to end here. I'd be happy for it to end here.
yeah, but
I'll watch it because I'm quite invested with The Walking Dead. I enjoyed the series. I remember we used to talk about it right at the very beginning, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember? You know, it must have been sort of episode 3 when I was up in Godric Road.
Yes.
yo,
Yeah,
well,
we've been in there since the beginning. Yeah,
I
and
think
there's a nice
you were
nod
still
at
on the island, weren't you? When it was about
Toasters, yeah.
Toast
yeah,
was?
well, it's been going on forever. Of course, I wasn't.
And there's a nice scene in this.
I
I
haven't lived
thought-
on the island for like almost 10 years. Oh no, about 7 years or something. Of course, I was.
There was a nice scene I thought that linked into the beginning because in one of the very first scenes when Rick comes out of the hospital, you see the feet of a little girl walking along. A hand reaches down and picks up a little bunny rabbit, and then she walks off. And it's like, little girl, turn around. And in this one, it looks to me like it was the same bunny rabbit. Michonne is walking along and she sees this rabbit on the ground. She picks it up and it's a little bunny with floppy ears. And I thought that looks very similar to that. Because I've recently seen that clip again on the television, I thought that's a very similar bunny, if not it's the same bunny. So there's
Yeah.
a nice sort of nod to the very first episode. So
Yeah.
to me, that felt like it was, we're drawing a circle on this. This is like becoming like the full circle for these characters.
Yeah.
I should watch that then.
Well, I hope so. I know the reason why Andrew Lincoln left the show. Well, the reason why Rick left is because Andrew Lincoln left, and Andrew Lincoln said that he didn't want to because he's English, even though a lot of people are shocked that he's English, and his kids were growing up, and it was too much. The shooting schedule was too much, and everything like that. So he wanted to be back home. So I'm hoping that at least for him, he's going to draw a line under it and then move on. And but from what you said, him and Diana Gurira, they're still quite good in these roles. But I will never know because I'm not going to watch it. But you guys have fun, and I 100% wholeheartedly endorse your right to have fun and enjoy The Walking Dead, and I endorse mine to run away from it.